What's going on YouTube? Major League Sports Cards here. Thanks for tuning in to my first video. Just want to say a few things before I start it. First off, I want to apologize for the technology issues. I have a webcam that doesn't work on the stuff I'm using. I don't have an amazing microphone yet and all that stuff. So if there's a little difference from most videos you watch just because it's my first one, I'm still getting some of the stuff figured out. So we're going to go ahead and hop into it in a second here. Last thing though, with O'Neal Cruz, there was some issues with editing. He got called up before I could post it, so that will make for a fun recap video on Friday, but we're not going to get in depth on him. So anyway, enjoy it, show some support. I'll get some new technology soon, and I'll see you guys for new videos. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and hop into it. We got our three guys here. Like I mentioned, here's O'Neal Cruz at the top. You can see him, here's his picture. So I'm not going to go as much in depth with him just because what I mentioned, he's already back called up to the Pirates. It's kind of crazy how that happens. 2 hours after I would have had the video done editing, he gets called up. So that's going to show more on Friday about my record type thing that I'm doing with the recap. But let's go ahead and get into this anyway. Just because he's already called up, there's still stuff to talk about. So here he is. Here's O'Neal Cruz. He's a shortstop. He's a big lefty. And as you can see, I mean, this were his first 9 bats in the major leagues. So he already proved himself with a, Here it is, .1 WAR. That's nothing special, but in his first 9 at-bats, he had 3 hits, 1 home run, a 3.33 batting average. I know that's only 9 at-bats, but I think that's good because it proves that he's not going to be a bust when he comes back, which is now. So let's not get too deep into this, but in my opinion with O'Neal Cruz right now, I would say that he's still a long-term buy, a good long-term buy, but I would not buy him to make some money short-term, so, or even just to hold on to him. So like I said, good buy long-term, not a good buy short-term. So let's go and move on to the next guy just because he's kind of out of the cause for short-term investing. So our next guy is going to be Nolan Gorman. So we're going to go more in depth with him. He is on the majors too currently. He did not just get called up. He's been up here for a while now. You can see right here he's 86 at-bats, 22 hits, 4 home runs. He's batting .256 with 13 RBIs. I know he did play the night that this is being edited, so Sunday night. And he played Sunday and Monday, so there's going to be like 4 at-bats that are not on here. But you can see 86 at-bats and 22 hits with a 256 batting average and a 326 OBP, 442 slugging, and 768 OPS. So in my opinion with Nolan Gorman here, nothing is huge. He's not a 10 out of 10 player right now, but I think that if you look at we'll jump over to his minor league stats. These are his minor league stats in 2022. He had 133 at-bats, 31 runs, 41 hits, 15 home runs in 133 at-bats. So I know that is going to be different for AAA because the skill level is different. My bad there. But I think with Nolan Gorman, he can prove himself. My prediction is that he's going to have a good All-Star game break or return from All-Star game break, and he's going to prove who the real hitter he is. He's already proved his defense, but that doesn't change card value very much. So, like I said right here, .7 WAR, that's pretty solid for right now. It's nothing elite. I believe the top is 3.9, but just overall kind of average stats right here with his first about 90 at-bats. So he's proving also kind of like O'Neal Cruz that he's not a bust, but I think he's going to go out on a streak. One of these random weeks, he's going to go out on a streak, and he's going to end the week batting like 400 with a couple home runs. So like I said, I could be wrong, but I think Nolan Gorman is a good short-term, even better long-term buy, if that makes sense. I purchased a first Bowman Chrome PSA 10 of Nolan Gorman for $70. It's dropped down to 50, but it's already starting to go back up. I'll show his sports card investor charts in a minute, but that's what I think for Nolan Gorman. I think that pretty shortly he will be rising back up again. So I think he is a good buy. So we'll hop back over these real quick. You can see his stats. In 2022 in minor leagues, he hit a little over 300 and a 1.044 OPS. So he was elite in AAA. He's average in majors, but I think he's really going to peak soon. So that's my predictions for Nolan Gorman. Let's move on to the last guy. He was a first-round draft pick for the Yankees, picked in the first round, pick number 30. He's currently he is 21 years old and is in AA, so that's pretty good for his age and level. He's a small second baseman, which most people don't like the smaller guys, but he's a second baseman, so that can work out for him. So here we can look in 2022, he's had 221 at-bats, 38 runs, 51 hits, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs. Now, I just want to stop here real quick. If he is 5'11", 180, and he's hitting 7 home runs, I know that's not huge home run stats, but I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that proves he has a good swing. Because he's not a huge guy, but he's still able to take it yard. I think that's a good sign. He also has 24 stolen bases. It proves he has speed, he has a little bit of power, and he has 32 RBIs. He can just get the job done. A 730 OPS and a 323 OBP. So, I mean, he's proving that he's a player that can do multiple positions, or not positions. He's proving that he is a player that has multiple skills. He has power, he has stolen bases, and he has a decent average. 231, sorry, I'm jumbling my words here. 231 is not a huge batting average, but when you have a player that can get 24 stolen bases, 7 home runs, and still bat 231, I feel like that's going to be a good player. My prediction with Anthony Volpe is buy low, sell high, which is what you do with everybody, but I'll show you his sport card investor charts here in a second also. So basically right here, I think that my prediction is that he'll get called up to AAA pretty soon, within the next couple months at least. And when he gets called up to AAA, that's when people are going to start buying into him. If you want to buy now and have it go up when he gets to AAA and sell, I feel like that would work. If you want to wait for long term, if he gets called up to the MLB, if no injuries into his career or season or however that works, I feel like this would be a very good buy just for when he gets called up to the next level. So that's going to be it for the stats part of this video. We'll go ahead and move on to the sports card investor charts. To the sports card investor charts, you see it's Anthony Volpe, whatever you want to say. I apologize, the screen's kind of messed up. I'm on my computer here. I can't screen record it and upload from my phone. So, like I said, I'm getting some of my technology figured out still, but we're going to make it work. So, first we'll look at the Sapphire First Bowman Chrome of Anthony Volpe, or however you want to call him, like I said. In the last 7 days, it's down 2.7%. In the last 30 days, it's down 14.2%. Now, that won't always be a bad thing. It says most recent average sales, $26.17. That's for the raw. If you look at the 10, let's go here, 238 for the PSA 10. So it's a little pricier. So we're going to look at the raw for this one. Looks like the most recent sales for the raw have been 30, 26, 22, 33. So with this one, what I would predict would be the best thing is to either hold on to it and wait for it to go up, because you can see here, it has tanked, and he has not really done anything that it should tank. I feel like he had a bunch of hype, and it kind of died down because he's not going anywhere. But as soon as he gets called back up, it's going to go right back up to 60, I bet. And you can get it for about 30 now. What you can also do with this is buy one of these, the raw, check out the condition very carefully, send it to PSA or even SGC. PSA would take forever, SGC wouldn't, but PSA is more valuable. And you could get it graded. If it's a 10, let's show this. If it's a 10, it sells for $238. If it's a 9, it sells for 45. So kind of crazy how that works there, but go back to this. I think it's going to rise right back up pretty soon. So let's move on to the next one. It's also going to be Anthony Volpe, just to prove here. It has gone back up a little bit. It's still down. The start price was $10.75, but it is going to start going back up, I predict. So we already talked about that. You can see up here it is going up in the last 37 and 30 days. People are starting to think he's going to get called up is my guess. So I think he's a good buy. Oh, I'm on the wrong one here. All right, here's Nolan Gorman. Here's the card that I bought, the PSA 10. I've looked at this a lot, so we'll move this over. This is actually, right here is the same one I purchased a while back. It says it's a good buy. So we'll look at this. In the past 7 days, it's up 7%, so it's starting to go up. In the past 30 days, it dropped 20%. I think people are still going to think that he's low, he's kind of struggling, which you could say he is a little bit. But if you go down here and look, on the 15th, it sold for 50, 16th, it sold for 62, and then today, or the 17th, it sold for $75. If you look at this, it's starting to go right back up. Start price was 77. It's at 74, down 3%, but look what it's doing. It's going right back up. He hit a home run the other night. He's starting to strike out a little less. I think people are going to realize that he's starting to go back up and start buying around 80, and people are going to flip it really quick, so just get ahead of it while you can. So you can look at his stats for proof there too. So that's about going to end it there. We showed the Anthony Volpe, talked a little bit about O'Neal Cruz. So like I mentioned before, we're going to recap this on Friday. So if this was my first video that you guys watched, I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to subscribe and check out some of the new series we got coming up soon. It's going to be fun, so I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys next video. Alright guys, so hopping right into it, we're going to start with